Facebook Live, so that's what's taking a few minutes to set up. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Good to go? Bruchim habayim v'chag sameach. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of all the men and women of York Regional Police to our 2-district police headquarters for this evening's menorah lighting ceremony. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge several people present here today. Mayor Virginia Haxon of the town of East Gwillimbury and also chair of the Police Services Board. Mayor Dave Barrow of the town of Richmond Hill. Deputy Consul General Missy Reed Stopper. Vice Consul Gilad Mazal. Dr. Aubrey Zeidenberg and Deborah Zeidenberg. Adelina Breedy, the Center Manager at the Richmond Hill Welcome Center. Members of the Canadian Multicultural Council. And senior members of York Regional Police. Thank you very much for all of you for attending. As you may know, York Regional Police has been lighting the menorah every year for 15 years in partnership with Chabad at Flamingo under the leadership of Rabbi Mendel Kaplan. Rabbi Kaplan is also one of 7 police chaplains who volunteer their time with York Regional Police. My name is Constable Rachel Rudolph, and I've been a member of York Regional Police for the past 5.5 years. Every year I update these notes and have to add a year, and I'm just amazed at how much time flies. I work in uniform patrol right here out of Richmond Hill, and I'm delighted to be your MC this evening. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. It's a celebration of light overcoming darkness. When the Jewish Maccabee army defeated the Greeks, they found only a little bit of oil in the temple, enough to last for one day. The miracle of Hanukkah was that this tiny bit of oil lasted for 8 days, enough time to clean and purify the temple. That is why we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days, and why we have the tradition of eating foods cooked in oil. I was at a menorah lighting ceremony last night, the first night of Hanukkah, and one question that was brought up was, why do we light only 1 candle at a time for each day of Hanukkah? Why not 8 candles every day? The answer that I liked the most was the concept that each candle represents a good deed, bringing a little bit more light into the world. There's no need to light 8 candles at once, such a large amount of light, such a huge change. Even 1 candle brings a little more light and joy to the world. And if each one of us can make one little change or mitzvah every day, it accumulates and adds up to something much bigger. I think that's an important lesson to remember as a citizen, and also for us police officers. Members of York Regional Police are dedicated to serving the public, sometimes unfortunately at the darkest of times. Our job is to try to add even the smallest extra bit of light to every person and family that we deal with. So without further ado, I would like to call upon Rabbi Kaplan for the invocation. First, I would like to call upon Superintendent Virapan for his greetings.
Wow, what a great sight. I think this is probably the Rabbi 10 or 12, maybe 13 years that we've been doing this.
I think like 15.
Maybe 15. So it's always wonderful to see everyone. It's always a festive time of the year, and I want to say welcome on behalf of York Regional Police. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Eric Jolliffe unfortunately couldn't make it this evening. Something's come up, and he's asked me to convey greetings on his behalf. So if you, I will just take a moment to do that. Before I do that, though, I would like to just acknowledge Superintendent Heidi Shellhorn. Superintendent Shellhorn is the superintendent of this particular police district. Welcome. Thank you very much, Heidi, for allowing us to I would also like to acknowledge another very good friend of York Regional Police, Ms. Anita Bromberg. Thank you, Anita, for joining us tonight. We'd also like to acknowledge Nobu Sering, Nobu, from our Tibetan community that from York Region. So thank you so much for joining us here tonight. And I'd also like to acknowledge the Deputy Mayor of Richmond Hill, Vito Spadafora. Thank you so much, Vito, for joining us. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Chief Eric Jolliffe and all the members of York Regional Police, I extend sincere greetings and welcome you as we once again prepare for the lighting of the menorahs. I would also like to extend a special welcome to all of the young children that are here this evening from many different families across the region, as well as all the parents that have taken the time to join us, and to our choir. Thank you so much for being here. As always, your support is wonderful. So we extend thanks to all of you that have attended here this evening in support of the York Regional Police, as we once again have the unique privilege to serve our culturally rich and diverse community with the hosting of this significant and auspicious ceremony. In reflecting on this year's menorah lighting ceremony, we would also like to acknowledge the significant contributions and celebrate the good work of Chabad at Flamingo, of the Chabad at Flamingo team, under the leadership of Rabbi Mendel Kaplan, with your initiatives and partnerships with York Regional Police over the past 10 years. I would say it's close to 15 right now. So through your contributions to our diverse and vibrant community, you distinguish yourselves as an important part of our Canadian mosaic and are a testament to the noble work of Chabad Lubavitch centers all over the world. As you continue to educate, unite, and inspire through servicing the needs of our vibrant and growing community, I extend to you our very best wishes for a successful event and a most enjoyable evening. I convey our thanks to our MC, Constable Rachel Rudolph. Thank you, Rachel, for being here. Superintendent Heidi Shellhorn for allowing us the special privilege of hosting the event in this particular building at Number 2 District. As well as our diversity, equity, and inclusion team that have assisted in pulling this together. I want to also acknowledge our dear friend and member of York Regional Police, Constable Ralph Crumby. Thank you, Ralph, for being here, as always, with your family. And all that have worked in collaboration with Rabbi Kaplan, Sturny Rossler, Rabbi Yossi, and the team at Chabad Flamingo that have made this evening's event possible. So thank you so much for that. So please accept our very best wishes for a safe, joyous, and happy Hanukkah. Thank you so much. And we do look forward to many, many more celebrations like this over the years. So thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, Superintendent. And now I'd like to call up Rabbi Kaplan, please, for the invocation.
Thank you, Rachel. You know, it's interesting that you got asked the question as to why we light only one candle on the first night and then add a second candle. This morning on my daily piece on Shin Radio, we talked about lighting the menorah on the 8th day. Every night I'm somewhere else, Baruch Hashem. Last night we're at the city of Vaughan. Tonight we're here. Tomorrow we're at Justin's No Frills. And so it goes. And we conclude Hanukkah at Shin Multicultural Radio. And the radio host asked me, what is so special about the 8th day? Why is that the greatest celebration? And I said to her, it's because when it comes to doing good things, we shouldn't suffice with just one deed. We shouldn't leave it at just one small contribution. We really have to get all of our engines fired up. You have to marshal and utilize all of the ability that God gives you. And that's what a full menorah represents. But Rachel, as to your point, to get there, you got to do it slowly. And it's only when you add one flame, one mitzvah, one good deed, one holy act at a time, that we're able to grow from day to day increasing constantly in our love, our loyalty, our commitment, our sensitivity and compassion, which are all ideals that the menorah represents. Hanukkah is a commemorative holiday. Nearly 22 centuries ago, our people, living in our ancient and eternal homeland Israel, were overrun by a ruthless enemy. They sought to extinguish the light of our spirituality. They sought to stamp out our devotion to Torah and our mission to be a light unto the nations. At the time, we were militarily weak, but spiritually strong. We fought back. Miraculously, we were victorious. But the victory does not focus on the battlefield. And the celebration of Hanukkah is not merely about valor. Instead, we focus on a candelabra that was iconic, that represented the essence of our faith. For as the prophet says, the entire nation of Israel is metaphorized as a menorah. Each and every one of us has unique light to contribute. And as long as each and every one of us tries to make his or her life a little more illuminated each and every single day, as long as we wake up each day and ask ourselves, how can I do better? And we know we can. What can I add today? What can I do now that I haven't done yet? If we live our lives like that, if we live like a menorah, if we live the message of Hanukkah, then the darkness can be dented, the great outdoors can be warmed, and in truth, the night can be illuminated. Ladies and gentlemen, it really is such an honor and a privilege and a pleasure. I know nobody's talking about it, but I just want to mention that for the chief and the deputy chiefs to miss this event is a rarity. And there is a situation that's right now going on in York region. You'll hear about it when the news is released. A very serious situation. And we have one of the finest police teams in the country, perhaps in the hemisphere. And they're monitoring the situation. The chief and the deputy are right now where they have to be, making sure that we are safe. And I know that otherwise they would be here. And so, you know, they're here in spirit tonight because really they're doing what they're supposed to do. And sometimes the menorah calls upon us to be in strange places. It doesn't always end up on the dining room table. It doesn't always end up even in the window. Sometimes it's in the cold outdoors. And as long as you, my friends at York Regional Police, do your job, and each and every one of us do our job in trying to make our world a gentler, kinder, holier, and godlier place, I know that the future is friendly, and that with God's help, we will together go from strength to strength. As Rachel, you know, the whole idea of the menorah is Mechayil El Choyel, which means from strength to strength. Never be satisfied with status quo. Always reach higher, and together we shall overcome the darkness, the difficulties, and hopefully see a tomorrow that is filled with light, peace, prosperity, and global God consciousness. For this is what the prophets promised, and it will happen. It will happen, hopefully, in our time, as long as we do our part in adding just one flame, just one candle a day. We call this blessed era the coming of Mashiach, and we hope and we pray for it, b'mheira u'b'yameinu, speedily and in our days. Amen. And with that, I'd like to call upon all my friends at York Regional Police to please come and help us light the menorah. We have two mayors. Who's going to light the central candle?
The chair.
The chair?
For sure. The chair, Mayor, I'll light it.
Okay. Mayor Haxon? So you stand next to me. Beautiful. So this is a York Regional Police tradition we have in getting as many of our friends to participate in lighting the menorah. Mayor Haxon, a dear friend of mine, is going to help by kindling the service candle, the central shaft, which makes sure that the other ones are lit and looked after. And then I'll go on to make the blessings and light tonight's two candles.
Thank you, Rachel.
Do we have everybody in place? Do we have enough candles? Everybody's good? Everybody's got one? I'm Rami. Where's your candle? Full. You want to light the fire? Sure. As our public servants light the candle next to them, you'll notice when you light somebody else's candle, your light isn't diminished. It's only shared. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvoso v'tzivanu la'adlik ner atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim la'avoseinu b'yamim ha'hem b'zman I'm in the business of lighting candles, not extinguishing them. But you may want to extinguish it. Guys, let's go.
As you can see, very eager in front of you, I'd like to welcome the Shmuel Zahavi Cheder Chabad Choir.